I'm a little late on this, and I probably don't even have an excuse. I probably should have made it the day it actually happened, but I'm not trying to make like a news report of this or anything. I actually want to make kind of like more of an educated guess, or an educated let's set some goals for what Ville Heinola is going to do over in Finland and for the rest of the year actually. And honestly, I know I said in my video I had Heinola as a Calder candidate, but I only really expected that if he were to stay in the league the entire season. He had 5 points in the 8 games he played, which was not terrible, but you could tell he was a little bit misplaced, especially when, Heinola's selling point was his hockey IQ and his poise in stressful situations, and you definitely did not really see too much of that translate over to the NHL. He was not per se struggling, but definitely not playing to the best of his abilities. You can see there were some nerves with him in there, and I don't blame him. You're brought into the NHL as an 18-year-old defender. You're not someone like Aaron Ekblad who can just walk in and you're already put in a top 4 role. You're being, so much pressure on you, especially in the Canadian market right away. He wasn't for say playing bad, but definitely not to an NHL caliber just yet. So anyways, the Jets then sent him down to the Moose, and then the Moose have now loaned him back to his junior team in Finland with Lukko in the Liga. And I really expect him to not blow people out of the water this year, but to definitely be a contender for one of the top defenders on that team. I definitely feel what they did is the right move, though. I really don't want Heinola to be one of those rush defensemen, because I always look at just players that you rush. I always see guys like Nugent Hopkins. I think he would have been way better if you gave him at least one more year in the WHL, and there are countless other examples, but that's just the big one I can think off the top of my head right now. I never saw him being one of those guys to jump into the NHL right away anyways, so I'll just start getting to the goals with him. Especially, I'm just going to quickly look at stuff here. Last year with the Liga, he ended up playing about, I'm going to say 80% of the games with Lukko. He played for Lukko's U20 team for 9 games. He ended up getting 9 points. So it was only right to bring him up to the actual men's team just to see what he can do. He ended up getting 14 points in 34 games, 2 goals, 12 assists. Not bad, especially for the stature he has and the amount of responsibilities he's probably already given. I don't know what line he was on. He may have seen some power play time, but either way, pretty good for an 18, 17-year-old defenseman. And if you're to really want to translate stuff this year, I understand he only played 8 games in the NHL, but you see it with a lot of guys, they come up and they'll, like, especially a lot of those rookies, like you'll see, I don't know if Kirby Dach is going to be sent back or anything, but I guarantee you if Kirby Dach goes back to Saskatoon, he'll do absolutely wonders, way better than people probably would have expected if he didn't play those games in the NHL. But I'm not saying Kirby Dach's going to go back. I don't know if he'll go back. I hope he stays in the NHL. I think he's definitely ready to be up there. He's a big guy, but we're talking about Heinola. So you send a guy after playing 11 games in North America between the AHL and the NHL, and you send him back to the Liga. He's definitely gonna have a lot more confidence, I think, coming back, because it's gonna be a lot of a step back from North American hockey, especially with the way European hockey is a lot more played, a lot less physical, a lot less. You got to keep your head up for a guy like, who knows, like Ryan Reeves on the ice or Tom Wilson. I'm just making examples there. Although Heinola is gonna come back to Lukko, and I think he's gonna be pretty praised on that team. He's definitely going to be on the top 4 at least. I can definitely see him being a top 2 since they don't really have a pretty good two-way offensive-minded left-handed D-man, just from what I looked at so far. But he'll play alongside the Robin Press guy, I think he's got 11 points in 18 games over there with Lukko over a quick check. He's right-handed though, so Heinola would probably play alongside him and probably on a power play be a quarterback on there. And if we're talking stats-wise, if I really want to get into it, like he played 35 games last year. They're already about 18 games into the league season. I could definitely see him probably fitting in at least like 30 to 35 games like he did last year, something around there. And I'm not gonna say he's gonna get a point per game or anything like that, but in like if I'm predicting 35 games he plays, I can see something like 20 points, more so about that. Like I said, I don't see him being a point per game defenseman just yet. Maybe next year if he plays in the Liga once more, he's definitely gonna be a top 2 then. But he's gonna see a lot more ice time this year. I think he's gonna have to come back with a lot more of a mature game. And something else I want to talk about, he's definitely also going to be on that World Junior roster in the U20s. There's no way he doesn't. I don't see why he would not be in it. But he'll probably be really heavily relied upon, be one of their top defensemen this year. He had 2 points in it last year for them as a 17-year-old. So it's definitely a possibility to see him maybe breach a point per game in that if you really want to be optimistic. I'm optimistic. I can definitely see it. And I mean, I don't think Finland is going to have the complete dynamo team that they had over the past couple of years, especially last year. But you still got guys like Patrick Pistola, and then their defense too is heavily built around pretty offensively talented D-men such as Anthony Honka, Mikko Kakkonen, and then you slide Ville Heinola in there. There's also Toni Uutinen, who's definitely going to be probably arguably one of the captains of that team. It's safe to say I can see Finland coming home with a medal after the World Juniors, but we'll have to wait and see. It'd be nice to see skill-wise too, Heinola to work on his shot a lot more. I could definitely see it was a little bit of a butterfly shot. And you know, you look at guys who talked about, like Quinn Hughes was someone who was always ridiculed for having a pretty fluffer of a shot there. If Heinola can work on it, just like Quinn Hughes did, Quinn Hughes has a pretty good slap shot now. I haven't seen too much of slap shots from Heinola. He's great at getting the puck on net, but definitely to add some heat behind it too, that would just add to his stock there. Anyways, tell me what you guys think about Heinola and what you think he should be able to accomplish over there with Lukko in the Liga, and what you might expect him to do over in the World Juniors. See if he actually maybe gets a letter. See if how much Finland is going to rely on him to be that tip-top D-man for them. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm not the Winnipeg Jets all-time fanboy, but they have a lot of players on that team that I just adore. A lot of their Finnish players. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.